All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session of the Trial of Hearts. I am Maris Oram, your humble host and DM. I am so thrilled to be back after our brief little holiday hiatus. But we are gonna kick things off as per the usual with a round of player introductions, starting in the top left-hand corner, Sif.
Oh my god, that's me, Sif_VTuber. Hi, I'm back again. It's good to see everybody. Here to play everyone's favorite lawful evil bird boy. Very happy to be back again. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. And next we have Lily.
Hello, everyone. My name's Lily. I'm an artist that draws a lot of D&D stuff, including the lovely Topaz here. I also run my own campaign, Mistwalker Spectrum of Eternity, which we are recording the next session of that tomorrow. Very excited for that. But as for tonight, I'm playing Topaz Stoneheart, the general jeweler slash crafts person slash seamstress, etc., of this party.
Can confirm Mistwalkers is a pretty great campaign. You should check it out. Thank you, Lily. And Vesper, you're next.
Hello, I am Vesper_Fortune, and I forgot what I was doing. I stream here on Twitch. I'm a variety streamer. Catch me doing about anything. In D&D things, I'm in the campaign Heroes of Heterodoxy, ran by Vikos, over on Chef Rio's channel, and I am the lore consultant over on Comet Tales, where I have inflicted a whole lot of pain upon two of these lovely people here. Please go check that out. That'll be happening this Sunday over on Oliver Oswald's channel. I mean, Saturday. I said Sunday. Oh my god, I meant Saturday. And right now, I'm playing Disaster Deer and Lovable Rogue. Lovable rogue Oleander.
There's no question mark. There's no question mark necessary. Thank you, Vesper. And last but never least, we have Ares.
Hello, I'm ArestheHarpy. I stream and draw and do stuff, and I'm a general airhead, and I'm going to be playing someone who's definitely not an airhead. Luella, the Fae politician, the owl with a family who will definitely, none of them will die by the end of this campaign. Wink, wink, nudge.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
Why did you give them super magic cancer?
Oh.
It was part of the story,
It's
Lily.
building character.
No, this is culture.
Look,
DM, can I have some more trauma?
Yes.
everyone needs to have trauma, and I'm just providing it for all of you.
It's true. It's true. And I also want to take a moment to, give ourselves a little bit of congratulations because we have officially been playing the Trial of Hearts for a little over a year now, which is just so exciting, so grand. I love this game. I love you all. So thank you for playing with me. And it's been a really great year. So, thank you guys. But that being said, we will kick things off with a bit of a session recap, just because it has been a minute since we last played. So, the party wrapped up some final business before leaving Luella's countryside estate, White Blossom Grove. Topaz started their morning by seeking out the lady of the house, expressing concern for young Rivalin's health, but these revelations were unfortunately far from new to Luella. They further spoke of feelings and Topaz's budding relationship with both Gwyn and Essie, and Luella offered Topaz the sound advice to tread carefully in the eye of the public and to speak to their prospective partners about their own feelings and fears. Lavinia, the governess, returned from her singular day off, looking much refreshed and bursting with news and gossip, delivered directly to Luella. She reported that the royal carriage was seen tearing through Cloverhaven without stopping, and that the Lockharts were overheard gossiping about Princess Adora's muddy boots the evening of the masquerade gone wrong. Lavinia also divulged that the children have been feeling rather low lately. They missed their mother, they have questions about their unknown father, and their failing health was always at the forefront of their minds. She suggested a lengthy trip to the seaside to bolster the children's spirits once Luella's business in the capital was concluded. The two ladies spied on the children outside with Essie, glowing despite his hesitancy to show it the prior evening, the three of them playing dirty and very likely returning from Rivalin's crystal cave. They returned indoors, where the children were ushered by Lavinia into the room with their mother for a final conversation before she departed. Luella asked after their welfare, and Eswil admitted to feeling a little more tired and that Rivalin coughs, but they both take their medicine as instructed. And much to their excitement, Luella promised to take them to the sea, as per Lavinia's suggestion, though they deflated a little bit upon learning that Luella was leaving them once again. In response, Eswil wrote up her own Fae contract for Luella to sign, a promise that she would stay with them after this last trip to the capital. All packed up and ready to go, the house staff, Lavinia, and the children see the party off, but not before little Rivalin gifted each of them a precious rock of his choosing. And after a tearful goodbye, Luella and the party managed to pull themselves away from the children and ride off to the capital. On the way, Oleander rallied everyone with a reformed plan, using rumors and gossip to destabilize the monarchy from within. The citizens of Wishbourne, particularly those residing in the capital, loved to gossip, and with a few well-placed pieces of information, maybe conjure up a few illusions of ghosts of queens past, print a few pamphlets at a certain printing press owned by one Diamond Stoneheart. Well, needless to say, a plan began to take shape. And once arrived in the capital, an impressive, massive, spiral-shaped city of white brick and stone, the party made their way up to the Blushing Peony, Diamond's publishing company, her residence attached. They were greeted by Peggy, Diamond's tiefling secretary, soon joined by the woman herself, a larger-than-life Furbolg woman whose very presence emanates both confidence and scandal. The Stoneheart sisters were warmly welcomed with a bone-crushing hug, and Diamond opened her home to the party. Diamond escorted each person to their rooms, most notably Topaz's room, which has been untouched since her last visit, filled to the brim with posters and memorabilia of shows and bodice ripper romance books, most of which feature male orc romantic leads. However, despite her profound embarrassment, neither Gwyn nor Essie seemed put out by the remnants of Topaz's crush's past. Meanwhile, Oleander set out to purchase some magical items to shield both Essie and Damus from divination tracking spells. He visited his old stomping grounds at the university and acquired a pair of amulets, and after a conversation with the college part-timer running the store, also gained some new hot goss courtesy of Wishing Stars, the local tabloid paper run by a man simply known as Rook. And that is where we will pick things up, my friends. We will start with Gwyn and Topaz. While Oleander has been off doing his little shopping errand, I believe that the two of you, plus Essie, wish to run an errand of your own. Gwyn, what would you like to do during this time?
I believe I was planning to return to not exactly my estate, but where I would rest and where I would do my work, my office, my little part of the castle, assuming it's safe for us to go there.
Very good. As you start to head out, Topaz, Essie is going to inquire about the particular hat of disguise that you have. Seeing as it's not presumably not particularly safe for him to be wandering around as himself just yet. So he will take that hat off your hands, and when he puts it on, he takes the guise of a very handsome but still like plain featured man, human man, someone that's, you know, easy to blend into a crowd but still good looking. You would never expect Essie to look like someone unattractive. So he's, you know, he's tall, he's got, you know, a nice coiffed blonde hair and a crisp white linen suit, and a top hat to match. Yeah, he's looking quite nice in his disguise, but looks nothing like his usual self. Yes, you were gonna say something.
Just gonna say, now I think it'd probably be good to ask. You know, it is magics, yes. You do have a backup in case something else goes wrong, yes?
He just kind of looks at you, gives a really cocky smile, and just, why? Don't you have faith in your own magical items?
I mean, I do, but someone hits that with dispel magic or something and it's just gonna dissipate. I don't know, maybe I'm being a little nervous.
I mean, we don't
Over
live in a
these-
city where people cast spells willy-nilly, right?
That's fair. Yeah.
We'll be fine, but was this the disguise of your own choice, Essie?
He kind of tilts his head up and he goes, well, not exactly. I may have borrowed this one from the cover of one of Topaz's books.
Didn't want to address that, but yes.
Like Gwyn has like the it clicks face, like, oh, I understand now. There's no way in hell Essie would like willingly wear a top hat unless it was to fuck with Topaz.
But yes, the three of you can make your way out and about, going up and up and up and up into the spires, where the castle is, and on your way up, you know, it seems like a pretty Gwyn, you would know it's a pretty uneventful evening. There's people hustling and bustling as per the normal, you know, it's a well-populated city, there's plenty of people out and about, but it doesn't seem like anything's out of the ordinary. It seems like the ongoings of Hollow Light haven't really extended out this far quite yet. No one's really freaking out about the possibility of witches and assassins just yet.
And I must ask, are people looking at us?
Give me a... we'll call it an insight check.
Holy shit, we're rolling dice, baby.
We're rolling dice.
That's 25.
I would say that as you go further up the spire, it becomes a little less populated because those are the wealthier districts. So the higher you go up, the more noticeable that you are. So as you get closer to the castle proper, more eyes start to gravitate towards you. You're no longer just another person in the crowd, and people are taking note of you. They see you walking with Gwyn. That's something that clearly seems to be interesting. But I would say that it's more of a intriguing glance. Like, people are just like, interesting. More so than any kind of judgment.
You know, not exactly used to this. Obviously, people know the Stoneheart name, but this is a bit much.
Give it more credit than that. It's been at least a few days since the trials have been postponed. Surely all the rumors and hearsay have made it all the way out to the capital by now.
You're not wrong. It's just, I don't know. I'm not used to being the center of attention in that way.
Topaz, it's been a long time since you were led around the ballroom in front of everyone. You should be used to this feeling. It's something you'll encounter quite a lot in the future.
Essie, you can see, even though he's got these very, fine masculine features now, he's very obviously pouting because no one's looking at him. He's just another guy now. He's just a guy.
Patience, Essie.
It's probably a good thing that they're looking at us.
I suppose. There's still time yet. It's the first day, after all.
What kind of splash do you expect to be making looking like that?
Just kind of looks at you, a little offended. You don't like it?
I don't quite in particular enjoy the top hat, if I'm to be honest. Although, far be it from me to judge whichever method you use to tease our dear Topaz.
Just
just wanna
looks
know
away,
how
pouts
I'm-
again. It matches the suit.
I mean,
Whatever
you don't
Oh, good.
you don't have to be teasing me every second of every day, do you?
Nonsense. It's one of the clauses of our relationship.
There's clauses?
I did, in fact, contract Luella to write us up a clause that says that.
What? When did that happen?
We had plenty of time at White Blossom.
Ugh.
Gives
Okay.
you another another cheeky grin.
Okay.
Totally lying through his teeth.
Totally lying.
Topaz is falling for it. Regardless, oh, yep.
Nope, go ahead, finish your thought.
I believe we're almost at my station.
Yeah, as you draw nearer to the castle, you see within the streets, you pass by one of the theaters. And this is a very nice establishment. This is the theater. This is where, the operas are performed and lavish stage plays, nothing bawdy like the pantomime here. This is a reputable place. And you can see a couple of people are putting up posters for the latest production. And you can see it is a what appears to be an artistic rendition of one of the historic portraits of Cornelius and Isolde. And you see it as a poster for a production that will be playing in a few days called Queen of My Heart, an ode to Isolde.
That's not what I think it is it?
Essie stops in his tracks and just stares, watching them put these posters up.
That's probably something we might want to... Oh, God. You don't want to go, do you, Essie?
He pauses for a moment and turns to look at you. And there's a bit of a mischievous twinkle in his eyes. Oh no, I'm going. I'm going to see exactly what he thinks happened.
I mean, there's no way he's going to tell the truth.
Of course not. But we have to know how he spins his story, so we know how to spin ours.
Topaz, who is looking worried, hears that and is like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Hmm.
Do you think so, Gwyn?
I believe we should all watch it together. I think, well, given Oleander's background, I think his criticisms might actually be useful for this.
Write a scathing review. Though maybe under a pen name, so that way nobody traces it back to him.
Anonymously, of course.
Of course.
He'll turn on his heels, satisfied, seemingly invigorated by this new plan. And we'll continue following your lead, Gwyn. Now, when you make it into the castle, you pass through a well-guarded gate, but of course, everyone knows who you are, Gwyn, so they don't question you passing through. You enter the castle, and you go through a sort of to an outside perspective, almost labyrinthine set of hallways, but for you, this is normal. This is home. You know your way like the back of your hand. Your quarters, your office, your space is in one of the smaller corners of the castle, the fortress. And Essie is, as you are leading him through, is taking it all in. He is clearly doing his utmost to memorize as much of the interior as possible. But yes, you find your door, unlock it, open it. What do we find, Gwyn?
You enter the same dimly lit office described at the start of the campaign, with the only major difference being a much more pronounced layer of dust over the furnishings. I imagine there's still the same greenish blue, like turquoise wallpaper with the gradients of stars painted across, singular desk in the room with a sort of artificial balcony in the back. A side area curtained away where Gwyn most likely sleeps and rests and lives, and a singular autognome in the corner of the room hibernating away. In the piles of papers on his desk, there is an empty in and an empty out section for paperwork. Well, I don't have much in the way of comfort, so please feel free to make yourselves comfortable. I will see if there's any spare rags on the side to wipe down some of the chairs for you two.
Essie takes a moment to sort of circle around the room, looking at everything, hands behind his back so he doesn't disturb anything. I missed a lot of the details, but the feeling in the air is just as I imagined it.
I wouldn't say quite that. You added a certain charge to the room, if you're interested in showing Topaz.
Another time, perhaps. Gives a smile.
I don't know what that meant, but do you not have much in the way of I guess not much in the way of living space here, it seems.
My role in this kingdom, in its protection, is one that does not require opulence,
I mean,
nor
I'm not.
comfort.
I wasn't exactly expecting opulence or nothing, but I don't. I mean, I guess I don't know what I was expecting.
Hmm.
He just kind of like paces the room, like looking at everything and just like definitely a noticeable somber expression on their face, just like, I think I'm beginning to understand a little bit more.
Well, it hasn't been used in quite some time. The
Not.
gods rarely come in to report to me. I most often leave or send out papers to them.
Did you have a library or?
The castle has one, so if I was ever in the need of reading, I would travel to it. If I needed food, I would travel to the kitchen. If I was in need of anything else, I would only come here to sleep and to be, really. That's all this room was. To be.
This is your home, isn't it? Or at least the closest thing.
No. My home was with my band. My merry men and women and, well, you know the third part.
As you say that, Gwen, Essie continues circling about the room and pauses a little bit before your little fireplace. And something catches his eye, and he goes to sort of lean down and pick something up. And it looks like he's got a paper in his hands. Something that you had tried to destroy in the fire, but seems to have partially remained intact. And he picks it up, looks at it, looks at you, walks over to you, hands you the half-burnt scrap of paper. And you look down, and it's one of the letters from said merry band that you chose not to respond to. One of your foot soldiers was getting married and wanted his captain there.
Dreams take sacrifice. And when I permitted my men to pursue their own, when I no longer wished to see the bodies building before me, I decided that I would not be made theirs. But that was wrong. I was weak, tired, blinded, overthought it all. There is no reason why both can't come true. Maybe I should start adding to that out pile.
I think that would be a good idea. If only to make your world a little less confined.
I remember how open it was back in the day, sleeping under the stars and wide open tents, warm campfires, and people I would call family nearby. But you're right. I need such openness in my life again. So you two better find a home quite like that.
I'm not going to be
Hey.
camping out under the stars, if that's what you're implying.
I know. I figured the dear star would want first pickings at a home. Just keep my tastes in mind.
If you want to try to write some letters to at least get back into that, you certainly had plenty of practice at the trials. You could even send a first one addressed to the sleeping peony. Or is that the blushing peony? Blushing peony, if you wanted to keep up your end of the promise before we left.
Perhaps once all this is over, I will take time to write proper formalities. And I promise I won't write them the same way I write to you two.
The only promise that I'm concerned with right now is... whatever happens next, whatever it is that we do here, I won't allow it, I won't permit you to return to this.
Oh, no, I came here for one reason in particular. First thing he does is he wakes up his autognome and gives it a simple command of resignation. And I imagine it just gets up and comically with like the stick and bundle on it, just walks out of the office.
Yep.
And then Gwyn writes a letter of tendering his resignation and just leaves it on the desk.
You're resigning?
I can't exactly change this very system by being a part of it now. That's not... Besides, I get the feeling that upcoming actions will require me to forego my role.
Huh. I'm shocked, Sir Gwyn, as I'm sure many others will be as well.
I will write something more. The Queen herself gave me a letter of sending, or a spell of sending, which out of character, I can't remember. Is sending the one where like you're capped at 25 words?
Yes.
You're always capped.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I will use that in combination with the letter to more compactly explain my circumstances. I'll allude to that in this resignation as well, but I intend to either bring this kingdom under me or raise a new one with you two along my side. Can't exactly do that if I'm protecting this current one.
Huh.
Topaz is going to kind of walk up next to Gwyn and sort of wrap their hand around his and just say, remember the promise.
I will.
Hmm.
Always.
And which promise are we referring to now? We've made so many in the past handful of days.
Topaz looks up to Gwyn, just like, do you want me to take this, or?
Yeah, no, Gwyn's smiling back at you, because I'm assuming he's in the middle of writing the letter right now.
Fair. When we were still at the trials, I had Gwyn promise me that whatever world he comes to create, that is the kind one.
Essie doesn't say anything for a little bit. But he kind of looks at you, Gwen, curiously. Because that's a bit of a far cry from the attitude that you've often shown him. But he looks back at Topaz and just... Well, I think that perfectly admirable to be so optimistic.
But I don't want to seem naive about it. I do understand that there's a damn good chance that we'll have to kill the king for that to come to pass. He certainly
Kindness.
wouldn't be safe without that, but
Kindness does not mean mercy. It doesn't mean unconditional forgiveness. If this man, this thing, is worthy of kindness, it will be made evident. But so far it hasn't. Our current world is one that worships strength. These very trials prove that. Your very hand being offered up to whoever best shows off their strengths and traits to you, for instance. Or how I only achieved my role through acts of valor rather than any sort of merit or training or education. All this world cares about is strength. And in my eyes, the kindness Topaz has shown me is a strength many have forgotten. A kingdom of kindness with a kind king is one I seek to make from now on. But I promise you, Essie, justice will still be a part of it.
Good. I have no intention of letting him live. Well,
Of course.
I'm ever surprised by you, Sir Gwyn. I didn't expect you to give up your position like this. I think it right, of course. Though I do worry about how we'll be getting into the castle from this point forward, with you no longer at its service.
Did you see the dust caking the walls and the furnishings? No one's quite been here in a while. This resignation is something more spiritual. I don't think anyone will be coming to see until the events of this foray are long over.
Hmm.
And like I said, I will more formally speak to the Queen, as I think especially after these trials I have come to respect the princelings and their mother a bit more.
I think that's the most surprising thing you've said yet.
Doria could still use some sense of discipline, but yes.
Well, with you out of a job, I suppose we'll have to keep you occupied for the next while.
to be fair, none of us have employ.
I mean, Topaz, you are about to start up a new business. I have my savings from my time before and during this last job. And I mean, who could say no to Essie and whatever he wanted?
Very true. I think we got enough on our plate. Don't worry about the position of employment for at least a little while.
Yes, I'm sure we'll be quite comfortable under the knowing gaze of Topaz's various posters, will be quite comfortable for the while.
I promise I don't aim to do nothing.
Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty to do. I'm going to be meeting Diamond for a spot of tea a bit later, based on our way back.
Then for now, I believe there's nothing left here for us. And Essie, I saw the way your eyes darted. Just stick close to me, as you always have, and we'll have no issues moving around this castle.
All right. He'll reach out and take your other hand.
Maybe I should have asked this question earlier, Essie. Well, there I go doing it again. While you're walking around, you probably should go by a different name.
What did it say in my fake travel papers? I mean, my very legitimate travel papers.
Very legitimate. Nothing but the best from the underworld, I take it.
Estelle, I believe it was, although that was my mother's name. Well, I suppose it works for now.
Surely no one will suspect the two of us traveling with a beautiful man named Estelle.
But yes, if you have concluded your business, Gwyn, tendered your resignation, anything
But I'm
else?
still guard captain for the sake of plot.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck up the plan. I don't want to fuck up the plan while I'm trying to riz up my two friends.
Priorities.
It's so hot how you throw away all your worldly responsibilities to be with the people you love.
That's right.
With your thoughts.
All right. So yes, you exit the castle the same way that you came in. Topaz, you had a meeting scheduled with Diamond, so you head off back to the mid point of the spire for that. And Gwyn and Essie, y'all can start heading back to the Blushing Peony. We're going to pan the camera a little bit. Oleander, you wanted to do something with Damus, I believe.
Yes, we shall see how Oleander lives like this.
Damn bitch, you live like this, part 2. All right, so you bring, I imagine you, after going to your little shopping errand at the university, do you return back to the Blushing Peony, or did you arrange prior for, Damus to meet you somewhere? How would you like to go about this?
Oleander would probably be a little afraid to just be taking Damus everywhere, so it'd probably be more of he returns to the Blushing Peony, because also Damus doesn't know this city yet, so sitting him out is kind of really dangerous.
Correct. He would walk 3 blocks and get overstimulated. So yes, you can collect him back from Diamonds. You can see that while he's there, he is just contently reading one of the many books off of Diamond's shelves. But as soon as you enter the room, he turns beet red, slams the book shut, and throws it down, caught red-handed reading some sort of smut book of Diamonds. But yes, you can collect him.
Can Can I clock the cover? Is there a centaur on the cover?
You know, I hadn't considered it. But that would be very fitting.
Oleander is just going to not notice that and motions Davis over is like, I got something for you.
Oh, you didn't have to. I wasn't expecting anything.
It's the anti-divination necklace.
Oh, right.
Oleander's kind of smiling and laughing because he did see everything.
The thing that you said you were going to get, you got it, right. Thank you.
Out of the two, Oleander does give the prettier one to Demas.
Of course, as he can get the plain-looking one. But yes, he takes the amulet, puts it around his neck, and tucks it into his shirt collar. Thank you. I don't know how these things work exactly, but I think I feel a little safer already.
I think it's one of those things, give or take like 10 minutes. Oleander smiles. Since we're here, do you want to go see my apartment?
Sure.
I'm not sure if we'll be staying there, but might be better just in case to know where it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd like to, and I'd like to see where you work, your university.
Good, I want to show you everything.
Gives you a toothy smile, and he'll follow you out. You make your way back to the university. A different quarter of campus than the sort of divination area that you were previously in. This is more like the center of the university, where like the main lecture halls are, where a lot of the professors' offices are located. But there's a fair amount of residential space as well, because it's a very convenient place to reside while you work here, and or study here. So you make your way up to your apartment, and I will leave it up to you to sort of describe the vibes of what you find there.
I'm not sure if like Oleander's like in like a duplex or anything, but there will be like one noticeable thing on the back. There will be a very prominent bird feeder for thievery reasons, for messaging reasons. Birds.
Right.
And but upon entering the room, it's noticeably much larger than the other apartments due to being like for like centaurs, minotaurs.
You definitely got some special accommodations. Yes.
Yeah. Like upon entering, there'll be this immediate notice. Besides it being big, it's still like kind of small. They'll be big for Davis, and immediately there's this hint. There's this feeling of this is an a historian / rogue's place, because it's very neat, but also there's just this mood of there's a lot here.
I imagine like orderly chaos. Like you know where everything is, but there's just books everywhere and like trinkets and stuff.
Yeah, there's like immediately there's like an entire wall full of bookcases, and like one of the bookcases, well, multiple bookcases actually have like multiple books which are notated and marked and has like little paper stuffed it next to entirely pristine copies as like a comparison. There are some where there is 2 copies that are notated and entirely like used for notes and research and mental comparisons, and then there'll be one clean one. And this wall of books kind of actually goes into the far wall of books, where there's a desk which has been semi-built into the bookcase. And it's obvious the desk was normal at one point, but then there was an alchemy kit added, thievery tools, you have enough to do like a small like archaeological thing in this desk as well. And it's like very obvious that the desk is probably the most used part of the entire apartment. And across from the books is this mess of a couch. And you can tell the couch has been sat on more by books and by coats than actual people.
There's a distinct square pattern in the in the couch cushions. But Damus is looking around and he's got this very content look on his face, and looks at the windows that you have that overlook the main courtyard of the university, looks at the birds, at your bird feeder and your couple of house plants, and just looks back to you like, all this is yours?
Well, for most of the year, I tend to be out for like a few months to do my archaeological digs, but yeah, all mine.
It's really nice.
Really, I was kind of afraid it wouldn't feel like home.
No, it feels comfortable. Feels like you.
Oleander kind of like, now Oleander gives like this slight blush and smiles. Here, I'll make us some tea before we head back. And like around the kitchen, very small kitchen, but apartment, what can you do? The tea service, very lovingly well used by many nights of study. Like, there are tea stains are just not coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And if Davis is like approaches the kitchen, besides noticing it's small and like kind of like it's like underutilized because like single person living alone type of deal, but there will be like besides the tea service a little cookbook that says traditional servitor recipes, and also well, not a book, more like a journal that Oleander has handwritten himself, and also a little recipe box that has Polly across it. And that's about the extent of the kitchen, besides being whatever words were word what wood was popular at the time of building these apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And like also Oleander has like an entire cabinet dedicated to tea. Sounders says all but still should be good.
No, I'm sure it is. He kind of looks around, you know, taking in all of the bits and bobs and trinkets and little eccentricities of your place, and he starts to look over, like wander a little bit, and he looks over at your spans of bookshelves and just kind of eyes the titles on the spines. He's like got his head cocked so he can, you know, read them a little easier. And you've read all of these?
Most of them. I read most of the nonfiction. It's been a little hard to get through some of the fiction.
Wow. You must
The
have
fiction.
a lot of time to do so, or is this a part of your work too?
Well, both the fiction and nonfiction are quite important to my job. How people write during times in the past kind of indicates how people felt. Literary analysis is actually quite important to history, though I'm not as good as other people at it, but there's stuff that indicates how people really feel, the fears, their emotions at the time, and whatever's popular in fiction. Like, very dark thought, but very dark example, but most apocalypse prophecies aren't about the future. They're about the present and how and what fears people are experiencing then. Just like horror or other forms of escapism. It's usually about the then and there, so it's kind of interesting to put that in perspective with what is actually happening at that time.
So, by reading the make-believe works of people in the past, you can glean a bit of history, their feelings. That's
A little, but I'm not that grand at it.
I think that's remarkably clever. I've never thought about that before.
Well, most books are products of imagination, emotion, but people are thinking what people really want to get through.
I think I would like to read more. There's a lot that I don't know.
Well, we can get you started right away. And Oleander pulls out. I'm not sure if Oleander would pick out fiction or non-fiction for Davis.
This boy has been homeschooled his whole life. He needs some reality. He could do it. He could do it the heavy dose of nonfiction.
Well, considering what Oleander probably has, Oleander immediately goes to his history, like the nonfiction, true history type of deal. and considering how much he has on witches, it's just going. It's like 50 witch books. It's like
Oops, all
he can't help
witches.
himself.
You've unlocked my special interest.
Oleander pulls out a book called The Succession of Witches. Just kind of like the most neutral, least propaganda book probably in the entire country of Wishborn.
And you had to fight tooth and nail for this copy. This baby's a first edition.
Oh yeah. And Oleander hands it over to Jameson. This is kind of basically a history of witches from more or less their point of view, and is the most neutral thing I own, and kind of goes over the entire history up until now, but more from their point of view.
Thank you. I'll be sure to read it. And he opens it up, sees some like, you didn't write in the margins of this one, because like I said, this was a nice edition, like first edition. But you do have like scraps of paper like tucked into it with like all of your notes jotted down and your insights as well.
Oh yeah, I don't have a copy, an extra copy of this one. Oleander smiles. It's like, take really good care of it while you read, and feel free to read all my notes.
I will. Thank you.
Some of these aren't books, though, and Oleander will pull out a really big book. Well, not a big book, about a medium-sized book from the fiction section. Open it up and reveal it's actually an assassin's cabinet, and it's full of like these like little tiny cabinets. I will actually post a picture. And this is one of my tools. So be careful, not all of these are technically books.
Oh. Did you anticipate something happening?
No, these are just, just things I own.
Oh. Just to have, then.
Yeah, just from, being... It's... kind of... Got the boy out of the Thieves Guild, I can't get the Thieves Guild out of the boy.
How many of these are there in your shelf?
Oleander looks at the bookshelf and just goes, including this one, only 3.
Huh. His eyes kind of scan the shelf. And you know which ones, I assume?
Oh, yes. And Oleander will pick out a much more smaller book. This one's much more singular, travel friendly. Puts that back. And this one, he has out something that's definitely like, taught at the Wishborn Sunday School type of deal. This one is more of a showpiece. This one, and he holds up the more medium-sized one, is the one I prefer carrying around.
You are, as ever, full of surprises, Oleander. There's always hidden compartments about you.
Not really. I don't feel like this is all that surprising, being the son of, being a member of the Rogues Guild, son of its current master. I sometimes feel like, that haunts me more than it helps.
Do you not wish to be then?
I do. One can't help but wonder what could have been. I do wonder why my parents dropped me off on the steps of the temple that day, but it's beyond my control, and I've lived a pretty good life, considering. I'm not sure if I could have been who I am today if I had entered Wishborn Society at 18, like some other servitors who are like, hey, I want to stop being a part of the herd. I'm going to go check out what living with society is all about. I'm not sure if I would have had the same interests or if I would have even been in Wishborn.
Is that why you have the servitor book in the kitchen? Do you want to connect more with that part of you?
I think I've always been curious about it. But it can't be helped. I'm someone who's been kind of... It's not like I want to leave everything behind. It's more of I'm just curious about my people.
I mean, I think it's a good thing if you wanted to do that. I don't think you would have to give up who you are now to do that.
I don't think I want to be anyone else right now, and Oleander kind of like wraps his arms around Damus.
I think I feel the same. I don't know how things could have been, but I also don't know how things will be now that they are the way they are. And that makes me a little nervous, to be honest. I had a pretty set life before, but that doesn't mean that it was a good one, either. So, I think being a little scared, a little unsure, is good in that way.
I'll do my best to believe some of that.
I feel better, with being with you and the others as well. I like to think that I've even made some friends.
I think you have.
He smiles and kind of leans into you a little bit. I feel like I'm experiencing everything new for the first time. But that's kind of... Yes, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Oleander gives a smile, puts his hand through Damus's hair, and like while they have tea, he begins to feed the bird feeder and fill the bird feeder because we gotta start the network again, people. And Oleander asks his landlord for his mail because Oleander's been gone for a bit.
You've been gone for a while. You've got like a hefty stack of papers, like effectively junk mail, from the university, like, oh, this lecture is going on, this weekend, or, whatever events are, going on. You've got some letters of, inquiry from, the small, like, little indie publishers that you would send your academic works to. But most notably, you do have what appears to be a rather recent letter from Mezzethine. And it sounds like, briefly skimming over her note card, she's very, like, she's a woman of few words, succinct words, I should say. And it just says, very simply that she'd like to catch up with you sometime. It's been a minute.
Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like I'll be catching up with some of my professors later. I'll make note of that.
You don't stay here very often, do you?
It's more of I was at the dig site when Essie fell, and then the trials happened. So I've been technically away for a few months.
Huh.
My plants are mostly kept watered by Rogues Guild members, cause they're nice, but also, and Oleander holds one of the leaves in his hand. Most of these are poison, or antidotes for poison, so.
Of course.
There's not a bit of me that's... I'll be honest with you, Damus, I don't think I'm that normal.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that I'm a good judge of what is or isn't normal, but I don't think that matters so much, because if you were normal, then you wouldn't be you, and I quite like you.
Oleander smiles and... Oleander smiles. And I wouldn't have you any other way, Damus. I love you too.
He goes really red. Really red at that. But he's smiling from ear to ear as he pretends to be fussing over one of your very poisonous plants. But yeah, you have your tea, you have your letter from Mezzethine. Anything else you would like to do here at your apartment before we move on?
Oleander checks his bedroom just to make sure Lycoris isn't hiding there.
Roll me a perception check.
God damn, this is what I get for having thieves everywhere in my family tree. Why do I have a 2 in perception?
11. You don't see her. However, you see that one corner of like your bed sheets is a little askew, like someone kind of bumped into the bed and like sort of dragged some of the bed covers with them. She may have been here. But it could have
I
been one of
lower
your
my
other it could have
eyes.
been one of the other guild members. Who's to say?
God damn it, she's probably using an invisibility potion. Oleander says to the void, "I'll be back."
You hear Damus in the other room. What?
Sorry, sorry, nothing. I'm thinking my sister's here again.
I'm pretty sure we're alone, but okay. But yeah, but yes. You have a lovely afternoon chilling with Damus in your apartment. All right. Next up, we have Luella.
Heyo.
Hey yo. This afternoon, I imagine that you'd probably like to return to your house just to sort of make sure everything is in order, much like what Oleander did, check the mail and yada yada.
Of course.
Yeah, make sure everything is just so. So you are heading back to your house in the city, and you are in the upper parts of the spire. You've got a really nice place. And as you make your way up and up around the spire, you actually hear a voice behind you calling for you. Miss Stalwix! Oh, Miss Stalwix! And you turn and you see running towards you is Bellamar. This is a man who is not made for running after anybody. He is a Glaura, a fae that takes the physical attributes of insects. So he's like a tall, long, spindly bug man. He looks like a gray moth, with these dusty gray-brown wings and feathery antenna. His posture is very stooped, but he's still taller than you anyway. He's quite a long, spindly character. He's got arms full of scrolls and paperwork, and he's struggling to keep all of the things in his multiple arms, and he reaches you, chest heaving, adjusts his spectacles. Oh, Miss Stalwix, how lovely again to see you. When did you return to the capital?
Only just recently.
Oh,
Quite strange to see you running such as this.
well, it's been positively a madhouse since your absence, I fear. I've kept everything under control, of course, but things have been busy as ever. But Miss Stalwix, I will be so relieved to have you back. But I need to say, I hope you had a very nice time at Hollowlight.
Nice enough, aside from some problems.
Problems?
Indeed. Shall we talk more in my office?
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. And he'll gesture for you to take the lead, and he will follow after you.
Luella will go a bit slow so that he can catch his breath.
Much appreciated by him. And he will toddle after you, and you make your way back to your usual stomping grounds, your office. Neat, tidy, orderly. You have a array of clerks in rows, writing in their books, looking over contracts, and looking at it with a fine-toothed comb and large spectacles to make sure that there is no extremely teeny tiny fine print, that leaves people confounded. But yes, you make your way into your particular private office. Go ahead and describe what that office is like for me.
Luella's office is, at first glance, almost cluttered. But with a little bit more look, you can see that it's painfully organized with shelves and bookcases and stacks of scrolls and things put just carefully. The couch to one side and a rather uncomfortable chair set directly across from her desk.
So cruel. Bellamar will set his stuff down, sort of stacking it in a precarious pyramid on top of the couch for the time being, before he takes a seat across from you in that uncomfortable chair, but he's quite used to it, so if he has any discomfort, he is not showing it. He adjusts his spectacles again and tries to stand up straight, but at this point his posture is just, so bent and crooked that it's near impossible to stand up perfectly straight. And just, I am terribly sorry to hear that things did not go as you had wished, Miss Stalwix. Anything that we should be concerned about?
A great many things.
A great many things.
Bellamar?
Oh dear. And he reaches into his coat pocket, finds it empty, clicks his tongue in annoyance, goes into his other coat pocket, also empty. The problem with having multiple arms is you have many, many coat pockets to sort of fuss around in. And so he finally procures a notebook out of one of his other many pockets. And, all right. And then goes through the pockets once again, finds a pen, and goes, all right, yes. Many things.
Now, Bellamar, this is incredibly important.
Oh, yes.
By far, this is to be the least talked about information that you have ever received.
Who? Are we suing someone?
In a sense.
Ooh. I see. Well, who are we going after?
I am going to have you answer your own question by considering who are the people that we would be least likely to ever scrutinize.
Kind of blinks at that, like his big, mothy bug eyes blink very quickly as he ponders that. That's a difficult thing to answer, Miss Stalwix, as a matter of fact, we tend to scrutinize, well, everyone. No one is really safe from your particular brand of justice. Politicians, judges, nobles?
Royalty.
His antenna perk up and sort of flutter a little bit. Royalty. Miss Stalwix, have you gotten into some sort of trouble?
I would say that rather than getting into trouble, there has been an uncovering of trouble. And so I'm going to put it to everyone that current operations will be put on pause for the moment to instead start pouring through archival records.
Pause. Mind you, I'm never one to question your judgment or your leadership after all these years, but putting a pause on current operations will put us at a fairly substantial, well, what are we supposed to say to all of our current contract holders?
We are going to say that in order to uphold the validity of those contracts, a few very important audits need to be made.
I see. Audits, yes. That might be for the best, actually. Archivals, you say? Yes. And he sort of flips through his notepad a little bit, and he goes to near the end of the book where his most recent notes are. Yes, you see, there has been a interesting uptick in archival requests recently. You know,
Do tell.
there was the one that I sent to you while you were at Hololight, but that is considerably recent when compared to other requests recently. I mean, it's been all about birth records these days. You know, it happens, you know, every so often, you know, like clockwork when the princelings get upset about the rumors surrounding the birthright. We have to, you know, procure them every year or so, but now people are asking about the whole family. Generations. I'm quite at my wit's end, Miss Stalwix. I really am. First, there was that Fae exchange document with the smudged signature, and but now there's been missing birth certificates.
For whom?
For royalty. Multiple kings. Generations. I can't wrap my head around how it's possible. You know, as well as I do, that we keep such close records. But as soon as they are requested for, and we go looking for them, they're nowhere to be found.
And any... Well, I guess this will be related to your tasks for the upcoming few days. I rather know that this is going to be a significant thing that I ask of you, Bellamar. But we are going to be looking for similar such discrepancies and any contextual evidence that we can find in relation to those types of records.
Of course, for every pattern, there must be a reason. Records don't just go missing, so there must be a reason. Something has either happened, or been taken, or, oh, heavens forbid, tampered with.
Indeed. And to that end, I will also be asking that you only put the people that you trust most to these tasks.
Oh, well, of course.
The rest are to receive a leave of absence.
Miss Stalwix, how can we possibly function with such minimal staffing? If you think it necessary, then I'll see it done, but, they won't be happy about it. Neither will our clientele, having such a delay in our services. But, if you're absolutely certain it's necessary.
It is absolutely necessary, Bellamar.
Very well, then. I will, consider this carefully. I will review the staff with the utmost care, and I will choose the most apt skeleton crew.
Good. And do try your best to avoid any ties to nobility or the like.
I see. Miss Stalwix, if you'll permit me a foolish question. What you are about to do, we play things very straight. We tend to the rules, like religion, and we make others abide by them. Are we about to do something quite illegal?
Bellamar. She's going to pull out her pipe and light it while she is considering her next words. Blow out a puff of smoke. What is the purpose of these rules that we enforce?
To maintain order, sense of stability and reliability upon the law.
And the purpose of the law?
Kind of pauses for a moment, and he folds his hands together. And he looks at you with very narrow eyes. Why? The law It is written to uphold those who wrote them.
And if those who wrote them, are they themselves illegitimate?
In my vast experience working with you, Miss Stalwix, in my professional opinion, anything can be made legitimate or not.
But Bellamar, in all of your time with me, have I ever given you the inkling that anything should be legitimate?
We make people think they are legitimate. And for the first time, Bellamar gives a wide, toothy smile. And it's in moments like this that you are reminded that he is also, in fact, a fey creature. So, Miss Stalwix, let us, if you will, speak quite candidly. I trust you, and I rather hope that after all of these years, you trust me as well. We're not talking about suing someone. We are not talking about missing records, tampered records. We are speaking of something much bigger than that, I think.
Conspiratorial, even.
My word. My word. How large the scope has grown. What on earth are you planning to do?
To do what we always do. Find something that has left a hole, and to patch that hole. To ensure that things are as they were intended.
And you have a inclination that, the royal family might perhaps be responsible for the creation of this metaphorical hole?
I do believe so, yes. As after all, it would be rather... not illegal, but not within the spirit of the contract of society, as it were, to have the one who makes decisions not be who they say they are.
He perks up a little bit at that, and his scribbling in his notebook pauses. Missing birth records. That would be awfully convenient. wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Interesting. Horrifying, but interesting. Yes. I see. I will do as you ask. We will have most of the staff on a leave of absence. We will focus on archival records. See what else we can dig up. I will handle any unpleasantness that may arise from this decision.
I thank you, Bellamar. It has been a pleasure working with you this many years, and I am glad to trust you with this.
I thank you for your trust. It seems you had a interesting few weeks, to say the least.
To say the absolute least, it has been a few weeks that have opened my eyes to an entirely new world.
Well, here's hoping the next one will be a bit more patched up.
If we have anything to do with it, I believe it will be.
Well then, he clicks his pen, tucks it and his notepad in his pockets, scooches out from the chair, and scurries to scramble up all of the scrolls and papers and books that he was carrying before. It seems I have much to do, so if you will excuse me, Miss Stalwix, and can I just say I am very glad that you've returned.
I am glad to have returned. We will have to talk more soon, though.
Of course.
This is simply the most urgent matter.
Of course. Well, time to deliver the bad news to the staff, so perhaps lay low for a little while, Miss Stalwix.
Oh, I hardly believe that they would come to me to complain.
No, they will likely come to me, so do check in on me in the near future.
Lock your door, Bellamar.
Will do, Miss Stalwix. And he will gather his things and exit your office. Anything?
Luella heaves a sigh.
Anything else you would like to do while you were here?
She would just be checking in to see if there was anything that needed her attention before, or while she was gone. No. Make sure that things are set to run as smoothly as they can.
Yeah, it looks pretty much as it usually does. Your inbox is, crammed full of, letters of inquiry from prospective clients, a few minor legal issues here or there, nothing to really catch your interest. You can pass them on to, the lesser clerks. Well, those that you plan to keep on staff. But yeah, it seems Bellamar has kept things, all things considered, quite shipshape in your absence.
Oh, I would also like to send a letter while there.
Yeah, what do you got?
Just something very simple to Adora asking for a meet at some point in the near future.
Interesting. Okay. We reach out to Adora. All right. Is that everything?
That will be it.
Okie dokie. We are going to return to Gwyn. You and Essie are on your way back to the Blushing Peony, making your way back to the middle of the spire. Just Essie's fairly quiet as you are walking around. He's clearly, thinking to himself. But soon enough, as you're walking around, you feel someone, like, your skin just kind of bristles. You feel like you have this feeling that you're being watched, Gwyn. And you kind of look around, you scan the crowds, and you don't immediately see anything. But the longer you look, you start to notice close by the crowd is parting. And a man is approaching you. And very determined to, reach you, it seems. And he walks up to you and just... Are you Sir Gwyn, perchance?
I want to note that I am standing in front of Estelle at this point, just to yeah. I am Sir Gwyn. To whom am I making this acquaintance?
He kind of lifts his head, in a not quite like a cocky sort of posture, but he's kind of sizing you up a little bit. This is a guy who is a little taller than you are. He appears to be a young man in his mid-20s-ish. He's a half-orc, but he looks more human than orc. He's got a single tusk poking out between his lips, broad nose, and dark, clean-cut hair, fine suit, silk cravat, carries a case of paperwork with him. I am a friend of Miss Stoneheart. And I must say, sir, I must make inquiries regarding the certain rumors that are spreading about the two of you. If what I hear is true, I wish to... Well... I wish to stand up for her honor, sir.
Out of character, can I insight if this is wild?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
That's a 14. Wait, I can spend a superiority die on this for tactical assessment. Ha! That is a 21.
So you're looking at this guy, and the thought kind of reaches your mind that this could be wild, come back to challenge you or whatever for Topaz's hand. But the mannerisms are all wrong. Wild is a man of experience, he is a man of pure confidence, and even if he were trying to act the part of a normal guy, it wouldn't feel like this. This very much feels like a dweeb trying to stand up to the big kid on the block.
And I would not recognize, this isn't a noble or anything, this is just some dude.
As far as you know, this is some guy that you've never seen before.
I see. So you fear I have tainted Sir Topaz's honor and have come to challenge me in the middle of these streets.
Challenge, let's not be hasty, sir. I care about Mick Stoneheart, and I couldn't stand to see her hurt, not even by someone like you.
Trust me, what do you know of Sir Topaz?
He sort of clears his throat a little bit and adjusts his tie and just... Oh, suppose they wouldn't have mentioned me. I am a friend of Mick Stoneheart, and, well, that's about it, really.
I want insight. Is this an X? Is this an X? Is this an X? At the 16, I'm not using a superiority die. Is this an X?
You feel pretty confident this is an ex-boyfriend.
Friend. What does Essie look like? Out of character, what does Essie look like right now?
Essie looks so amused. Essie is not interrupting. Essie is letting this play out.
I want to know, when Gwyn mentions the idea of a duel, there is a hand resting on his hilt, on his right hilt. He's not like not ready to draw. It's just there to like bring attention to the duel question mark. I see, and as a close friend of dear Topaz, what impressions has the Stoneheart left upon you? Tell me.
Kind of looks confused at this inquiry. This is not how he expected the conversation to go. But he clears his throat again. Well, I found Mick Stoneheart to be a remarkably intelligent and considerate sort of person. He sort of falters on the word considerate.
The player wants to insight that, but that's not what Gwyn's focusing on. I see, and do you think this considerate person would be taken advantage of at the trials that they were invited to? The trials were some of the best of this kingdom attended. You think Topaz amongst them would not rank very high?
Certainly did not imply such a thing, sir. This is about you, sir. Your mistreatment.
No. This is about your need to come to the defense of someone who does not need it. As the Topaz that I have come to know in my time in those halls spent with them is not someone who is so vulnerable that they would fall apart at anyone's attempts, regardless of whatever rumors you may have heard. I have met someone who is incredibly brave, forthcoming, and willing to put themselves forward when it comes to the people around them. So when you come here saying that these rumors are what led you to believe that they were in need of your defense, it shows to me that you maybe have spent some time with this treasure that is Topaz Stoneheart, but you have not gleaned all of their luster. They are not someone in need of defense. And most certainly they are someone who I would be more than afraid to anger, mind you. So I can assure you, if you truly know Topaz, then you know that such rumors are baseless, that they would never let themselves get hurt by anybody. That's why I've come to value them so heavily.
He blinks at you, like taking all of this in, and his posture actually relaxes a little bit, and he gives a big exhale. Just, you mean to tell me that the rumors are untrue?
I mean, the part about us being together, no, I will not claim that to be incorrect, but any rumors regarding myself and my station, and whatever position that they may leave Topaz, and you should know that nothing I could ever do could ever harm them.
Oh, I see. Oh, he runs a hand through his hair. Oh, that is a relief, sir. uh, Forgive me. Playing the knight in white shining armor is not usually my realm of expertise, but when I heard the rumors surrounding the events of Hololight, He looks at you and offers you a hand. My apologies, sir.
He'll take the hand and can I insight to see if he still has feelings for Topaz?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. That's an 18.
You get the feeling his relief is genuine. He seems quite content that Topaz has not had their heart horribly broken by someone. So one can imply that feelings, in quotation marks, seem to be strictly platonic at this point.
Okay.
I'm sorry, in all this fuss, I didn't introduce myself. He gives you a firm handshake. I'm Darcy, sir, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy.
Does it like hit Essie and Gwyn like a bag of bricks?
Yes.
I don't know what to do with this information, DM. I see.
He just kind of blinks at you like, something wrong?
No, it's I feel as though a cosmic force has shifted in the heavens above us. Timing aside, I'm grateful to have known that Miss Stoneheart had collections such as yourself prior to the trials. They would often speak ill of their home life with their family. So, the company of one such as yourself is comforting to hear of.
I'm admittedly a little confused that Mick Stoneheart would describe their home in an unpleasant manner. From my understanding, the Stonehearts are a very tight-knit and loving family.
I suppose it's mostly their father.
Ah, well, Mr. Jasper Stoneheart is a character, to be sure, but I have always found him to be quite cordial in his own way to myself. Yes, well, no purpose in reminiscing on any of that. That's all. Quite finished. No, my time with Mick Stoneheart, it was brief, but they are a remarkable individual, and I truly wish you the best of luck, and if not, I hope that you hear from Topaz themselves.
I assure you, they will always be safe in my care. And you've come such a long way, surely would you not wish to come back with us to see Topaz?
Oh, are they here?
Yes.
Ah,
We are staying together with one of their siblings at the Blushing Peony.
with Miss Diamond Stoneheart. Ah, what a coincidence! I was just heading there myself, as a matter of fact. Yes, I would be glad to accompany you.
Naturally, please come and join us. Oh, and pardon my manners, and I suppose the instance does not call for it. This is another one such compatriot as Topaz. This is Estelle from the Trials.
Ah, sir, pleasure to meet your acquaintance as well. And he offers a firm handshake to Essie. Essie makes the mistake of like offering his knuckles to like to like have him kiss it, and then corrects himself like, yes, manly handshake, and gives a not very firm but not quite limp fish handshake. But Essie just smiles so big, and he's like, "My, it is such a pleasure to meet you. A piece of Topaz's past. It is a wonder that he hadn't mentioned you before. You're such a delightful character." And Darcy looks a little sheepish, like, well, no, I imagine they wouldn't. We did not part on particularly good terms, but that was in the past. I'm sure we've both learned and grown from it. I would like to see them again, and actually speak to them, since they didn't speak to me last time. And he kind of has this like really tight smile on his face. I'm afraid I don't follow. I thought you said you were quite amicable with Mick Stoneheart. Yes. Well, we were together for a brief period, and after a little while, I guess the admiration was not mutual, and that's completely fine. By the way, these things happen. After all, I take no offense to that, but it was in fact the elder sister who relayed this news, and not Mick Stoneheart himself. But I'm sure they had their reasons for not wishing to deliver the bad news to me personally. But whatever the reasons, it's completely fine. I'm just glad that they're doing well.
Well, hopefully, it seems as though you've, Gwyn does not know how to address a breakup through Fantasy Messenger. Hopefully, no. I've found in such strained, or perhaps maybe not strained, strange, and, pauses in connections. Maybe another conversation would be a nicer way to put a pin on things, in my own experience, thinking back to Scalm. I guess Victorian Messenger would be the more apt term. Sorry.
But he gives a little nod and just, yes, I think it would be nice. Yes, I suppose we should head to the Blushing Peony then. I had some business to attend to, but it would be so nice knowing that there'll be some enjoyable company there as well. And unless you have anything further to say to Mr. Darcy, y'all can head back together.
Gwyn and Essie have more lore now.
You are armed with lore.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Let's see. Next, we go back to Oleander. Oleander, you wished to pay a visit to one notorious tabloid publisher.
Yes, and beforehand, Oleander gets dressed up in like what he calls the dad wear, and not in like the shoddily dressed 30-year-old man gear, but what his father tends to look like doing business.
Mm.
And like he'll put that on and like while at the apartment, and like it is a lot of charcoal on black with like a little bit of like rogue assassin armor, like a tux. I don't want to say a tuxedo over chainmail, but kind of like that's the vibe we're going for.
Damus is gonna
Like kind of like a mix.
So sorry, finish your thought.
No. I want to hear what Davis thinks.
Yeah, Davis is gonna look at your assassin's getup and kind of eyes you curiously, like, I don't know if you're going to be attending battle or a funeral. Where are you going?
Well, first, I'm welcoming you back home. I don't want who I'm about to visit to have more fuel for his flames. I'm going to go see the very unlovely Luck. And I need to be... I need to, be prepared.
Oh, okay. Just come back safe, okay?
Okay. And, like, he will walk Damus up until the Blushing Peony, or unless, like, he meets the gang on the way there. But, he will walk Damus to the Blushing Peony, and since it was just mentioned in chat, he will have like a traveling cloak over the top of it.
We gotta hide the Assassin's Creed getup, yeah.
Yeah, it's like very like fancy, but not like it's not like battle ready. It's more of a threat than anything.
All right, you can
And
safely. Yeah, you can safely drop off Damus.
And then immediately to the probably the world's most worst smelling printing press in the entire city.
Yeah, so you head over to the Wishing Stars publishing house. It's not quite in the lower spires. It's like in between the middle and the lower spires. It's more like a warehouse. It's not quite as big as the Blushing Peony. It's much more bare bones and industrial looking. As you approach it, there's like a kind of like an iron gate to get through. It's not like security per se, like they're not gonna like stop you and like question you to get in, but there's like people, like security guards, like keeping an eye on things. So they clock that you're heading in. But you can open the door and kind of like the roar of machinery that you heard muffled through Diamond's house, you hear that same thing. The cacophonous sound of printing presses and typewriters and, so on and so forth. There's a, rows of employees quickly typing away, churning out papers quickly and efficiently. But as you continue to walk in, you look around for Rook, this fellow that you're seeking out, and you can see his office is on the far end of the warehouse, and it's not open, but there's lots of windows so he can sort of oversee everything that's going on. And you can see him typing away at his own typewriter in there. He's got like a cigar hanging out of his mouth. Rook appears to be, he's kind of just a guy. He's a surprisingly like normal looking human man. He's in his 30s. He's dressed very simply and comfortably. As you get, closer, one might notice that, his fingers are always noticeably stained by ink. Fluffy, neatly coiffed, dark hair. But he kind of sees you approaching. You're a very noticeable, shaped person, entering his peripheral, and looks up from his typewriter, sees that it's you through the window, and grins really big. There's a little gap between his front teeth, and he motions for you to come in with a big, cheerful wave of his hand.
When I'm at the door to his office, I take off the traveling cloak and walk in.
You walk in, you shut the door. Ah, well, it's been a while, my friend. How are you?
I think you should know. You've read that. You write your own paper.
That I do. But I'd much rather, if you'll pardon the expression, hear it from the horse's mouth.
I'll let that one pass. Oleander gives a slight laugh and approaches. Now, this is quite interesting. And he gets out the version, the current, today's issue. Now, it looks like you've been having fun.
Oh, well,
Tell me.
I mean, you should hear the stuff that people are saying. I mean, these papers are practically selling themselves. I haven't hardly needed to lift a finger, but hey, it's making some pretty interesting head titles. So I'll give you that.
Tell me who. I know you can't give away your sources, but old friends.
No. You know what? I can't do that. I got little birdies everywhere, the same as you. It's all fair game.
It's Cecil, isn't it? Probably when you need to pay him. Oleander goes like this very devilish grin. Now. Tell me, what has been the... Can I get tomorrow's rumors?
Oh, no. See, I know that, you think that, you can come in here and, ask me, for information, but, I get it. I know where you come from. Literally, I know where you come from, but you gotta buy the paper like everybody else. It's I'm not gonna make any money if I just give you the paper.
I know, but Can I ask something? What is this amateur hour about the Lockharts?
Amateur hour, buddy. Where you been? This is practically old news. I'm just rehashing it.
You had the entire... Do you even know about Scalm?
Scum, the big, yeah, ugly brute mercenary dude. Yeah, I mean we know of him. Yeah, of course.
And you don't know about what happened?
Well, I mean one can, connect a few dots. I mean, heck, if people make eye contact long enough, I can make a headliner out of it.
I know, look, you are quite amazing with your headlines and how, I don't want to say imaginative, but you stretch fiction so thin, it might as well be air.
Well, listen, fiction, maybe. A stretch of the truth, who's to say? But a little bit of truth, can be applied to any piece of hot gossip, but people eat it up. People believe what they want to believe,
I see you've been avoiding lying about me. Good. Let's keep it like that.
Yeah, well, I don't want Daddy Dearest breathing down my neck now, do I?
I apologize, I am such a papa's boy.
Yeah, well, besides, you've always been a little, how shall we say, straight-laced, Mr. Appraiser, it's, you don't have anything interesting going on in your life. Come back when you got a boo, and then we'll talk.
Oh, Oleander just... Oleander just automatically thinking, oh, I'm bored. Well, now, you see, I might need to cash in on some things. Might need you to write some more deliciousness, if I might say.
Well, why didn't you say so? Oh my god. Come in, take a seat. Take a seat. Let me get you want something to drink? You want what? You want coffee, tea? I got some brandy in my drawer. You want a cigar? Like, come on. You're gonna give me a tip. I'm gonna treat you nicely. You should have just led with that.
Oleander does sit down. I'll have some tea.
Excellent. He rings a little bell on his desk, and this small goblin secretary woman comes in, and he's like, "Hi, Gloria. Yes, hey, sweetheart. Can you get me and my friend here some tea? Thank you." And she gives a very curt smile, like this is not typically her job to make anybody tea. She's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever," and she'll head out and a couple minutes later bring you guys a little set of a couple mugs of tea.
Now, Rook, there's some things happening. Of course you know that. I want you to do some really good spreads.
Hey, buddy,
Over
you
the
gotta
next
pay
couple
extra for that.
What if I tell you some interesting things that happened at the trial?
Now we're talking. He takes out a little notepad, flicks it open, gets his pencil ready. You know what happens at the trial?
I was there, wasn't I?
Huh. You were there? You got invited? Nah, no way.
Let's see here. I wasn't allowed to keep my invitation. That was that was confiscated by Dame Nora, wasn't it?
I didn't actually, specify, now that I'm thinking about it. I didn't specify if your invitations were collected or not, so, that's on me. So if you want to say that you have your invitation on you, go ahead.
You know what? I feel like that wouldn't be something Oleander would actually keep on him. So, your source didn't tell you everyone who was at the trials?
Well, not everybody. Not everybody's got such a great memory,
Well, how about I first tell you everyone who was there? Then we can maybe see... Then we can continue from there.
Alright, you give me names. I can work with that.
And Oleander will recount, everyone. Yeah, he'll recount everyone but Damus. Mostly because gotta keep the boys safe. But
yeah, so we'll say that
also,
you give off, the list of the big important players.
He doesn't mind giving away Parthenia's name either, because Parthenia ain't got much going on either.
These academics, man, what kind of life do they leave?
And as extra payment, and he'll tell bits and pieces of what went on between Skalm and Gwyn, because he doesn't know the full story.
Excellent.
And he also knows that whatever's happening, this is just payment. It's gonna happen either way, Rook's gonna learn, and it's I need shit getting done, and I'm not paying this piece of trash money. And that's the story about Gwyn and Skalm.
Interesting. Okay, alright. We've kind of had our feelers out for Sir Gwyn and his various underlings, but that's a really interesting development. I thank you for that.
Insight. I don't trust this man.
What are you?
I want to know if he already knew this.
Sure. Yeah. Give me insight.
If he already knew this.
So, alright, here's the thing. Rook, as he has mentioned, can make a headline out of anything. He's definitely written about, Gwyn and his, kinship, shall we say, with his, his merry band of mercenaries. He's never really written about Skalm personally. In fact, he hasn't really written about, names specifically. He just kind of has written stories that imply, Gwyn's had relationships with, people within his band of mercenaries. But you get the feeling that this is not exactly news to him, but now he's got evidence. He's pretty content that he can make something juicy out of this.
Now I need those favors.
Sure.
That
Favor
delicious,
for favor.
delicious writing.
Yeah. What do you need?
First off, continue that witch story. There'll be some things happening across the next few days that will help you.
Now, see, here's the kicker. I can keep it going. I can only keep it going so long as it's interesting, though, right? So I got the doozy of a headline now, witches being back in Wishbourne. It's nuts. People are gonna freak out. That's all I got, right? It's the headline. I didn't get any of the details. You get me some details, and I'll keep that story printing.
My brain was thinking about doing. How about you continue the story, but after I do some things, because I plan on having some friends do some graffiti around. Once that graffiti pops up, you have your spread on witches. While it's still warm.
Kind of nods his head a little bit, like, okay, all right. Give me the places you plan on tagging, and we'll get the first scoop.
I'll have that sent to you tomorrow morning.
Cool. This be, the carrier pigeon, or are you gonna send one of your buddies?
Pigeon. I think the pigeon will suffice.
Alright, I'll set up the bird feeder again.
And as for the big, juicy, as far as we know, sort of true story, I need you to write that the king wanted to be at the trials himself.
He looks up at you. Nothing really surprises Rook anymore, right? Like, he's been in this business for a long time. He's heard everything. But you say that, and something in his eye sparkles at the potential behind that. Now that's a story, Mr. Appraiser. You get me something else that corroborates that? I don't even care if it's true or not. That goes in the papers.
Let's see here. DM, I know I should be keeping up with this stuff myself, but I don't technically have proof of that, do I?
Not really, no, but like, this could be something that you ponder on and send back to him via carrier pigeon, you know?
I will have it ready soon then.
I hope so.
I think you're... It's been a pleasure working with you, Work.
Likewise. Good to see you again. It's been a minute. And he'll extend a hand to shake it.
I do reach out and shake his hand.
Gives you a very firm handshake. Almost kind of hurts your knuckles a little bit.
See you soon.
See you soon, buddy. My door's always open.
And I leave, and I make sure to leave through, if there's a back exit, I do that.
Yeah, you could slip out the back way. No problem.
And Oleander's just kind of like, man would sell out his fucking mother.
But yes, that's Rook. And I think that's a good pausing point for us, my friends.
Okay.
Okay.
I love tabloids.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for playing. I hope you had fun. It's good to be back after our little holiday hiatus. And thank you for everybody watching. I hope you had a good time as well. Thank you for spending your night with us. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. We will be playing in 2 weeks' time, so that is the 21st. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Have a very good evening. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you again later. Good night and goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.